Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to MX Bikes, where today we're going to be talking about the all-new MotoFactory Compound by the Jones797 and as well Janes46. You might remember we did a 797 Lockdown Pro Track probably about 6 months ago now. It's been a while that a lot of you guys really seem to enjoy. Jones797 has got a lot of cool aspects to these tracks that he likes to include. And so the MotoFactory guys reached out to him and Janes46 to build them a track. And this is what they came up with. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this track today, play the track, dissect some of the cool features about it, and yeah, really just have a good time. We'll just jump into the game and go ahead and have a good time here. But this track, it's got a couple different tracks on it. It's got the national track, it's got the Supercross track that you can see from above, but it also has like a trail track, I guess, like a little like free ride trail track, as well as a turn track, and more or less like a freestyle map as well. So a couple of cool features on it. This is like the classic Jones797 feature right there at this point, where you go over a bridge like that, and then we'll join up with the national track over here. So we'll do a couple laps on the national track, couple laps on the Supercross track, and then explore some more elements of the compound. So starting off with the national track, you're going to notice right away a couple unique features on some of these jumps, which is like rain ruts down the side of the jump faces. Not something that a lot of people do, and actually I will say that I've landed in one of those rain ruts already, and it's crashed my game. So just be careful, anybody out there playing this track, and you know, try to avoid hitting the rain ruts on the side of the jumps. It's a very cool aesthetic feature, because obviously that happens in real life on, you know, tracks that don't always get perfect maintained jumps, I guess, that you have a jump that's there for a while, it rains, you have the ruts go down the side of the jump and kind of create little cracks and crevices down the side of the jump. So cool of them to add, but just be careful of those when you're, I don't know, scoundreling around the track a little bit. But the rest of the track is really, you know, a very typical, based on what I've seen of the Lockdown Pro track. Nice little 360 spin right there. That it's got like kind of one big hill in the middle of the track that it goes up and down on both sides. A lot of different like features and option lines to take throughout the track as well. A pretty decent flow, although I will say I like his Lockdown track better in terms of a national track. So, you know, there's that element to it, I guess, where the national track that he built for Lockdown Pro was maybe a little bit better. But overall, this is, you know, this is a big compound, so it's got a lot of different elements to it. But yeah, decent flow to the track. A lot of different, you know, raised ruts in the corner. He's got some lowered ruts that we'll come up to in just a moment here. Little kind of like back rhythm section through here to the biggest jump on the track, which I'm pretty sure you can triple over the top of this hill if you carry enough speed. But we're just going to do like the step up double option and then just carry speed off of this little single down the hill into the corner each time. Got to be careful to get on the brakes hard enough though to make this inside rut, and then around this corner, speed back up to the top of the hill. Nice little floater step up right there. This is where the start joins up with the track, right at the top of the hill right there. And you come down through here, and this is kind of tricky. It's got like some flowing ruts over this little hip jump table, then down the hill, down the backside of the Supercross track here, and then carry speed through these little S-turns. A lot of different rut options in these corners right here, and then we're just going to go around the outside over this tabletop. Carry momentum through this roller section, and then nice little big tabletop right here as well. A couple different options to get nice big whips off there, but I'm not necessarily the best at whipping, so just trying to show off the track here. Nice little kind of wood section back here as well. It's a little bit tough to see some of these ruts, so if you're like first time playing the track, you might not be able to see some of these ruts because they're a little bit, you know, hidden by the shadows and such. But once you kind of figure out where they are, they're really fun to lay into and carry speed through. This section at the top of the hill is also very fun. It's like this little floater step up into all these ruts at the top of the hill, carrying momentum, and then right back down off the top of the hill, a little drop down, step down. A lot of ruts in this corner as well. Then a split option into the sand. The sand on this track is also like the thickest sand I feel like I've ever ridden in this game. I'm sure, you know, some of like Oss and some of the other tracks that people have made that are sand tracks also has a similar feel, but this sand just feels like it really like holds you in pretty sharply. Could just be my skill set shining through, as again, I'm not going to be able to get this rhythm line through here, so apologies, but it's you're supposed to go double, triple, or excuse me, triple, double, and then carry speed into this double and not get completely off balance. Inside outside options here, we're going to just kind of follow the same rut through here because it's what I've practiced the most, but does have a couple different rut options that you can carry through here. And then this little tabletop is we head back up the hill into kind of the middle of the track once more. So I'll try to take some different option lines here. Little triple to the top to the inside and carry speed through this corner. Rip a tear off coming down this hill. Now this is like a weird option line because around the outside, you actually step up early and then you can kind of carry speed over the top of the hill, like almost jump down the hill a little bit. We'll try to get brake for this inside rut. Nicely done there. And then this uphill right here is a little bit tricky because the rear end starts to get a little bit light coming up to the top of the hill. So it's hard to get the bike kind of turned because it's a step up to a right-hander right at the top of the hill. So it's a very tricky sequence there to keep the rear end planted on the ground and then still get over the top of the hill and make the corner at the top of the hill because sometimes you just want to go like straight on. I am on a 450, by the way. I've been told that the 250 on this track is a little bit more difficult to get kind of all these options, but still everything is doable. So those 250 riders out there watching this video, just a little heads up for you guys. Then we'll come up to the top of this jump right here. Try to get a little whip off just for the fun of it. Short it though and go down. I did also notice that, and I don't know, maybe he did this on purpose. Maybe he was trying to kind of play around with it a little bit, but there's actually a part of the track right here that, like, if you come out of this corner, and it looks like he was maybe expecting that the track would go to the right here, because out of this corner there's like a little double and then a split option right here into a step up. Then you just carry some speed around this corner. And like maybe this was his original version of the track and he didn't like the flow of this, but I do like this section right here. Out of this corner you got a little step up double, and then up to the top of the hill there's this nice floater triple. I feel like that feels really cool right there, so I'm not sure why he didn't include it, but obviously the rest of the track is kind of as such. So just that little section right there, he decided to change up and only do that one big step up, which the big step up as well also flows really coolly, or really well, and I like it how it flows. But interesting that he did cut off, I don't know, maybe 20 seconds of racetrack right there. Now down the backside of this little tabletop through the rollers once more. We'll finish off a lap on this track right here. Kick out a nice little whip going up the hill here underneath the tunnel. And then this little like kind of kink around the corner is a nice little floater option down the hill into this corner once again. It's so hard to see the ruts, but once you get it figured out, like I said, it's not too hard to figure out where they go. It's just initially figuring them out. And got a little bit sideways and going down the hill, taking forever to pick the bike back up. And we'll go up to the top of the hill once more and finish off a lap on the national track. So yeah, overall thoughts on the national track are it's a good national track. I won't knock it at all because I think it's got a lot of fun elements to it. But overall, I felt like his the Jones797 Lockdown Pro track had a little bit better options on the national track, in my opinion. I like this little kind of floater jump that he has right here. Like you kind of tire tap the top and then carry speed off the top of it down into this corner. And we're going to run a 3:33. So not the best lap time. But I digress. We'll go ahead and finish up with the national track and go over to the Supercross track, which he does also have a separate file for it, so you can play the Supercross track with like timing gates and all. We'll come over to where the start is supposed to be on the track, which is right here. And I'm pretty sure it just swings down into the corner before the finish line jump here. I'm not sure if it goes any other direction. So out of this corner, finish line double. Pretty typical, you know, double into a double option. And then this set of whoops right here, it's not a bad set, but the starter whoop is not tall enough to get you really set up for the whoops. So you kind of almost either have to wheelie in or just kind of, I don't know, hope that you get it right on top at some point, because the rest of the section kind of sucks unless you can really get on top of those whoops. Dragons back to a couple on-offs and then a double into the corner. Out of this corner, you're going to want to triple onto this table, triple off, but I just landed off the side of the track just a tiny bit right there. So you triple off, and then you would quad off this table into this little gap right here, and then step on, step off into this corner. So a nice little flow to that section if you can get it right. Took me a while to figure out the option through there, but once I did, it wasn't too difficult. This one, you want to go triple, quad, triple, single, but again, of course, as soon as I start recording, I'm going to start messing all this stuff up. And then we'll just turn around and double into this corner. Out of this one, you got just a Supercross triple, standard Supercross triple. Inside, outside options here. I'll go outside just to carry speed and get over this next triple jump right here because it's back-to-back Supercross triples. Hard on the brakes into this corner. And then this set of whoops I think is a lot better. The starter whoop gets you on top a lot easier to carry momentum through. And then down to the finish line jump corner once again. So out of this corner, same thing, double over the finish line, and you have a lap done on the Supercross track. So out of this corner, I want to try to pop a wheelie on top, but no, got sideways and we're going to go down. I just don't like how, I'll go back to the beginning of it right here, but I don't like how big he made the second whoop after the starter whoop. Like that transition right there is not even. I know it doesn't look like it right here, but it's much more obvious when you come out of the corner and you're facing with it that the second whoop isn't tall enough. So it like you have to really finesse to get on top, and it's a pretty hard sequence to do. Like you can just lean back and mostly blitz all the way through, but unless at some point you actually make connection with the top of a whoop, you really just lose kind of all momentum, and then you have to try to figure out how to still get that Supercross triple with almost no momentum. So I don't really love the way that section flows with that whoop section, because it's not a really complete whoop section in my opinion, but it's mostly all right. Otherwise, we'll get this triple on, and didn't get the line again, so gonna have to do one more lap to try to at least show you that option is possible. And then again, out of this corner, the ideal line is to triple in and then land on the gas to pop that quad right there, triple again, and hard on the brakes. You could either go inside or outside, just carry speed through this corner to get this Supercross triple. So, you know, it's got good flow. It's not my favorite Supercross track ever. I'm pretty sure this is the track that Janes made, and I don't know that I've ever done a track by Janes before, but there's just a couple things that I think could be cleaned up about this. Overall, the layout of it's pretty cool. Like, it's got a unique style to it where it's not just back and forth rhythm lanes, more or less. It's got some 90s. It's got some, you know, kind of unique rhythm sections. I wouldn't say it's the most unique I've ever seen, but the triple on off line that I'm going to try to get this time through is not an option that you see very often, where people can triple onto a table and triple off of it. But I do like that sequence of lines right there. Gonna come up a little bit short onto that table and go down. So we'll just continue on. I'm gonna try to double into this corner right here to carry some speed into this, and of course the front end's gonna go all wonky, and now we're riding backwards. Hashtags bikes physics. MX yikes all day long. Come on, turn around like a normal rider. I'm not gonna have enough speed, so we'll go back and do it again. Just want to get this rhythm section once so you guys can actually see how it flows. So in and out of this corner, there we go. Triple on, triple off, quad, and I think you can maybe quad this on off, but we'll check up. Go on off here, and then one final time out of this corner, triple in. Easy little triple in pop because they made the lip really big right there. Then the quad triple after it is super easy as well. So yeah, nice Supercross track. Not my favorite in the game, but you know, combining it with the national track, which is also really, really fun, it's good. You know, it's got a good flow to it, and yeah, enjoyable tracks. There's a lot of them. But the added bonus to this compound and these tracks are there's some like free ride elements as well. This is, I believe he calls this like the forest track right here, the trail track. I'm not sure. It's got some logs on it, so a little bit of enduro options through here. Really well put together with the logs as well. He did thank Resolute Kraken in the description of this track, so I'd have to imagine that he figured out, you know, shape files on logs and other things like that that worked a little bit better with his idea of how he wanted to make kind of a woods track right here. But really nice flow to this track as well, because it's got, you know, just basically long sequencing turns through the woods up to the top of the hill right here. You know, do this little hip jump and then come back down and then go right back up to the top of the hill. And then we got like some Jeep trail stuff right here where inside outside option, we'll just go to the outside. And then, oh, I didn't even realize this off camera had 3 ruts in it. And some more logs, so we'll stand up and get over those guys, no problem. One more log jump right here. And then this jump right here coming down the hill. It can look a little bit tricky. It looks like it's supposed to be a big jump down the hill, but it's really just kind of a small double. And again, just carrying speed through the trees down to the bottom of the hill. Carry speed through this corner, and nice little floater double. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be able to go through here and just pop over the top of this hill, no problem. And that's, yeah, a little bit of a lap in the forest trail section. We'll continue on, though, into the freestyle / freeride map, which is pretty cool. Like, it's actually like a track, but it's a bunch of freestyle jumps. So you got this big floater double over the hill right here into this corner, out of a tight 90 into a big step up. And again, a lot of just big jumps to throw whips on. So I know a lot of people really enjoying MX bikes for the whip physics that this game has to provide. So here's a couple options for you guys to throw huge whips on these jumps as we're going to go off the side of the track right here. Not what I was trying to do. Sick barrel roll for style, though. We'll go back up to the top of the hill because I want to land on the downside of this jump here. Actually, I don't think we even need to go up to the top. We'll just berm through here, roll over the top, and come down this hill so we can get this big double. This is a very big jump. And we're going to go a little bit long, but land on the rear tire. We're good to go. Little double out of this corner, then some option jumps off some ramps, and I just went way too long on that one, but you can see you got the left side, the super kicker, and the right side just basically standard kind of 75-foot ramp, and then you turn around and then you have even a bigger ramp, the 75-footer and the super kicker. I think this is just like a standard kind of mid-third gear, high second gear jump on a 450, and then a little floater over the hill, just going to short it just a little bit and go down. But yeah, nice little sequence of jumps right there. That's kind of the freestyle part of it. Then it goes off into like a free ride map where it's got this big step up the hill right here into the logs. And then nice little double over some more logs right there. Oh, thought it went to the left a little bit, but actually goes to the right. Little trick right there. So we'll go back and turn around and do it again. Oh, come on, front tire. What are we doing? Up onto this and down. So yeah, kind of nice little flow through the trees right here. Little double option. This is really tricky jump right here, though. Out of this corner, you got to pop this down the hill. And then one more jump all the way to the bottom. Going to land in that rain rut and go down very heavily. But a little bit more of the sequencing of the rain ruts across the track. So yeah, that's the kind of the freestyle map. We'll finish it off and go over to the turn track, which is the last element of the compound that we'll talk about here today. But nice floater jumps for you guys to get your crunk on with the whips. Like these little step-up options. Like you can get literally upside down on these step-ups. But I'm not the best at throwing whips again, so pulling it back in first person is not really my forte. Come down this guy, hit this big booter double once again. There we go. Nice little kick out whip and pull it back. And then let's see if we can get a backflip off. Double in. Come on, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Ah, just a little bit short. Backflips in this game are tricky because I feel like the physics of the game don't really want you to flip over backwards. At least in like MX Sim, you can get the rear tire to really hook up and it'll flip you over quite easily. This game, it doesn't really want you to do that. It seems like it's more kicking you forward than anything, so pretty tough to nail perfectly every time, but there's some guys that definitely have freestyle already kind of dialed in this game, so that's kind of cool to see. Here's the turn track, though, which is probably my, not my least favorite thing, because I like the idea of turn tracks, but the thing I'm least good at in this game is following rut flow through a corner. As you can see, the front tire just tucks, and now we're going backwards. But, you know, nice little dug-in little rut track. It's got some braking bumps on it. Really good to practice more or less just like turning in this game and you know, the feel of carrying speed through ruts. So if you're like a beginner and you're trying to figure out some stuff to do on this track, this is a good spot to go and just learn. You're going to get frustrated because it's really hard to kind of dial in how it's supposed to feel and really have the front tire follow the rut all the way through, which has always been my problem. But there's a few tips and tricks that you can kind of pick up on when it comes to leaning and you know, carrying speed in and out of the corner and really just trying to follow the ruts all the way through. Again, I'm not the best at it, not the best at a lot of things that I've shown off on this compound, but yeah, nice little turn track here added to, you know, get a little bit more flavor to the track beyond just the national and Supercross track, as I mentioned. So yeah, this is the MotoFactory Compound by Jones797 and Janes46. You guys can download it in the description below. There's a link to it that I'll include over to MXB Mods, where it is going to be available for you guys to check out. Want to go around the track one more time here, and it did turn wind on. They said that they added some flags that you can see whipping in the wind. I know there's some over this way. Yeah, there you go. So that's really cool. They modeled some flags that move in the wind, and I'm pretty sure, well, it looks like the two flags in the middle are pretty much doing the same sequence, but the left flag here has a little bit of a different animation to it, it seems. So that's kind of cool how they added that in right next to the Supercross track right here. And yeah, good track here. MotoFactory Compound. Check it out by clicking the link in the description below, as mentioned. And shout out to the creators, Jones797 and Janes46, for putting this track together for us to play on this lovely day. I'm going to go over here and hit this big little pop-over double for the end of the video. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. As always, be sure to get involved in the comment section below if you guys have any more questions, comments, or concerns, and be happy to answer them down below. But thanks for tuning in to another edition of Track Walk here in MX Bikes. This is Kellen signing off, and we'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.